Up until about 6 months ago, I used a spreadsheet to manage my finances. But by manage my finances, I meant I was able to see that I didn't have any money in my bank account. I'd reach the end of the month, look back on my spending and realise there was no money left. I'd spent too much, but at that point it was already too late and there was nothing I could do about it. 6 months ago, I learned about zero-based budgeting, and that is what I'm going to talk to you about today. In my old method of budgeting, I would look at the beginning of the month and say, this is how much money I think I'm going to be spending on everything. And then at the end of the month, I'd look at the same spreadsheet, see how much I'd actually spent on those things. And 9 times out of 10, I'd realise I overspent, but there wasn't anything I could do. It was all reactive. And by the time I realised what was happening, the money was gone. It wasn't until I learned about zero-based budgeting that I was actually able to make a change in my life. And that's when my mindset around money really changed. With zero-based budgeting, you start with the money you have. For example, after a payday. Rather than spending money being the first activity after your payday is allocating it. Taking a look and seeing what that money should be doing for you. Once you've laid out all your money in front of you, you can then start to pick from it and say, this is how much I need for my food shopping. This is how much I need for my car payment. And this is how much I need for my rent. When you've put that money to one side and assigned it a job, that money can't be spent for anything else. Any money that's left over, once everything that needs to be paid for is paid, you can then start to have a look at the things that you want to do rather than things that you need to do. These could be things like going out for a meal or going and trying a new experience. But if you're in a fortunate position where your bills are paid before all your money is assigned, you might actually want to assign money on a monthly basis towards those things. So you can start to save up for bigger experiences or to go to fancier restaurants. This analogy is known as every dollar has a job. Now, obviously I'm in the UK, so every pound has a job. The idea is that every single bit of money that comes into your account, you specify what that is going to be doing for you. Because when money sits in your account without a job, it just gets spent. And it can be spent on anything because it's there and it's ready to use. There are lots of different ways of doing this. In fact, I remember going on holiday with my mum when I was younger, and she gave me an envelope each day. And in that envelope was the amount of money I would be able to spend going on rides or buying sweets or presents. But that was it. That's all that day could have. And it worked pretty well. I kept a budget on that holiday because I knew if I ran out of money for that day, I just couldn't buy something. I see loads of people over YouTube and budgeting forums that use the envelope system for their life. They take actual cash and allocate it to an envelope. And then they take the envelope with them when they go to do a food shop. As they go around the food shop, they're totaling up exactly what it is in their basket. They use their cash to pay at the till, and they know that they've stayed within their budget. In a modern world of online shopping and Apple Pay, this doesn't work quite as well, but actually could be the discipline that is necessary to start improving your financial position. If you have to take an envelope with you and you can only spend from that, and Apple Pay gets deleted from your phone, you have to be more intentional about how you spend the money. You can't just tap away. You actually have to go into your wallet, take the money out, hand it over, get the change, and you start to see exactly how much money you're spending in real time. For me, where I want the convenience of being able to pay for things on card or Apple Pay, it's an app that I use. I use YNAB, and I've spoken about YNAB on my channel before, so I won't go into too much detail on it now. But YNAB is a zero-based budgeting app. You load in your pay when you receive it, and from that point on, you then allocate money to different jobs. That much is for rent, that much is for my car payment, this much is for insurance, and what is left, that can be assigned to having a day out. Then when I arrive at the shop, or I go for my day out, I can have a very quick look and see, okay, I've still got £20 available. That's my limit. It's actually got to the stage now where I don't even look in my bank account. I look on the app, I look at the category from which I want to spend money, and I see how much is available. At that point, I make the decision. Is the money in the category, is there enough to pay for the thing that I want? Yes or no? If yes, then we can go ahead and buy it. If no, is there money in a different category that I don't need to be there? For example, 1 month I might put £50 towards days out. But on the 26th of that month, knowing that the rest of the week I'm going to be at work and can't go anywhere, I might actually want to reallocate that money somewhere else. Or keep it in that pot and not allocate any of next month's pay to it. The reason that this changed my mindset so much on money is previously I felt like I was budgeting in reverse. Every time that we spoke about budgeting when I was at school, we made up a spreadsheet thinking ahead. And we thought, this is how much rent is going to be, this is how much my car's going to be, this is how much money I need for groceries. But then that was the end of the exercise because we never actually played it out in real time. Had we played it out in real time, I probably would have realised a lot sooner that that kind of budgeting just doesn't work for me. Because unless you keep up with it on a day-by-day or week-by-week basis, you can't see how much of that money you've spent, so you don't know how much money is left in the month. This is why I now start from zero. Start from zero, assign money to the category, then spend from it. Not spend from it and then realise there's no money left for anything else. This concept has been life-changing for me. I used to spend days and days and days looking at my bank account, questioning why there was no money in there, but continuing to spend as if I was rich and the money didn't matter. Whereas now I can be intentional about my money and I can put it towards things I want to prioritize, knowing that if I have a day at work where I really fancy a McDonald's, I can look at my app and I can say, actually, I've not got money available for that. And the things I have got money available mean more to me long term than having this McDonald's for lunch. As far as I see it, what you spend money on is what you're prioritizing. In the same way that the things you spend time on are the things you're prioritizing. There's no such thing as not having time for something, you're just prioritizing other things over that activity. In the same way, you might not be able to afford the thing now, but if you prioritize and put money away for it, you might be able to afford it in the future. It took me a long time to get away from the spreadsheet. In fact, I still use it now, but it's more as a kind of safety blanket more than anything else. I'm not actually using it to work out how much money I have. Now that I give every pound a job, I feel far more stable in my financial position, I feel far more in control, and I'm working towards my goals for the first time in 10 years. I've been able to pay off thousands of pounds worth of debt this year, and that is purely because I've finally taken the time to prioritize that over spending that didn't actually mean anything. In the moment, it felt amazing to go and buy the thing, but actually when I then got it, all of that excitement fell away because I knew I didn't have the money. Whereas now, if I do buy something, it's because I've got the money and I can now enjoy it completely guilt-free. Hopefully this has given you an understanding on the zero-based budgeting system. If you want me to go into more detail about how I do it, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm more than happy to take you through my process. Now you understand how I manage my spending on a day-to-day basis. In my next video, I'm going to be showing you the exact tool that I use to manage my debt payoff and how that filters into my zero-based budgeting system. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope you've learned something along the way too.